Alright, welcome to Smash Practice with Zhu and
Cactus.
Yeah. Episode 1?
This is the first one, the first official one. We have had two, but they were both test streams. We got a lot of complaints about things that were basically test stream things, so hopefully this goes a bit better.
Yeah, we have a lot planned for you guys. So before we get into any of that, we decided that we want to start our stream with some fruit eating because it's healthy, it's fun, and just for us, we need some energy to do this like hour, 2 hour stream. So figured it'd be kind of like a good routine for us to get into.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying before, if you want to play well, you need to eat well. So that's kind of what we're going for. Yeah.
So I have a super secret fruit that I haven't even told him about yet. So I'm gonna go and get that. Cactus is gonna work on the stream topics and just like show with the chat for a bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some topics in there. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask me while he goes and gets the fruit, I'd be happy to answer at least one. It shouldn't take very long. So yeah.
Yo, I just want to show this real quick. Look at, I'm gonna change it. Oh my God,
he just
switched.
He just wants to show off the transitions.
All right.
Oh my God, I remember using your controller. I needed something for teams. I did not have mine. I left mine in my car. I was like done for the day, and then they were like, yo, Zhu and Cactus, can we play teams with you guys? And I was like, all right, but I need a controller. And this guy in the crowd was just, he was there for me, and he hooked it up. You think it's gonna be an orange? Orange would be like, wait, I don't think it's gonna be an orange. We did an orange the first practice stream. He's not gonna be redundant like that. I'm actually not going to be going to Shots Fired. I registered for it, but I have some like other obligations that I need to fulfill. So unfortunately, I won't be at that one. Hopefully, Zhu gets to team with Me Too King because I kind of want to see that happen. But yeah, I'm not going to be at that one. I also want to just like see how an MVG tournament goes down. I heard they ran one down in Arizona, and I actually heard really good things from Taj, and he was kind of talking to me about it and telling me that like everything went really well. Everybody got paid out. It seemed like very professional. So this dude, Gregory, who's kind of in charge of MVG, seems really legit. And I really wanted to meet him, but he was supposed to go to Apex and did not end up making it. So looking forward to it. We also already did bananas, though. I don't know if you saw, but so when PP was up here prior to Apex, we did another test stream, and the three of us all had a banana, and we kind of did like a little sword play. Is that the right word for it? It was a little awkward. There were pictures taken. I don't know that I approved of it, but it was fun. I'd probably do it again. Oh, Simna, you missed out. You gotta look up the second test stream. It's really awkward, actually. Aziz Al-Yami's right thumb brings up a good question. Zhu and I are not in any kind of homosexual relationship. Not that we have anything against that, but oh my God, is that a dragon fruit?
I thought it'd be appropriate. All right.
I've never had a dragon fruit.
Nor have I.
But it's the fruit of a cactus, so I feel like that's actually the sickest possible choice for the first time.
Right?
If we get sick and like die halfway through the stream, this was probably the root cause.
It's dragon fruit here.
I don't know what dragon fruit is.
I've never
I don't
had
know anything
it.
about it.
Okay. So,
Can you guys see this thing? Look at this. This is a monster of a fruit. What is this?
This shit is really expensive too. This was like $7 a pound.
What?
Yeah, this is like $7 at an Asian market.
Oh my God.
No regrets. Maybe, I don't know.
How do you open it? How do you? Did you look this up online?
I did look this up.
Oh, I knew it. I knew you were gonna do research.
Okay. So apparently what you do is you cut off the end here. So let's see. Yeah, that's good enough. So you can cut off the end, and then you just cut down the top. So
it kind of looks like a kiwi inside so far. I don't know if that's gonna stay that way.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, it really looks like a kiwi actually. It looks like a really chaotic kiwi though, because kiwi are like aligned around the middle and like go out, but the seeds are just everywhere.
This is a beautiful fruit actually. Like if you just look at the colors, I love the colors on this thing. And then it has like these like kind of exotic like.
We need a close up.
things.
Look at this thing. Oh man.
Yeah.
Do I just?
No.
dig
Well,
in?
so the person in the video said you can either use a spoon or you can like just like peel it out.
So this is like the ice cream fruit where I can just
Yeah.
use the fruit itself as the bowl.
Yeah. So I got you a spoon. Okay. Here we go.
All right.
This
cheers.
is this is weird. This is like a half smash, half.
I didn't do anything with the topic, by
Cooking
the way.
show.
I started talking to the stream and I got really distracted. My bad. I scrubbed out.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Wait. You gotta wait for me. I've never had any of this stuff before, too. This is like a 50-cent bite right here.
Oh my god.
Just think about it. This is literally like 50 cents. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, stream.
Cheers. Dragon fruit.
Mm.
That's actually good.
Yeah.
It really reminds me of kiwi though. Like the texture, the seeds, the flavor even.
Mm. This is actually really good. It's like not particularly strong.
It's very juicy though.
Mm. Oh wow, the second bite's even better. There's like more flavor.
You're only on the second bite, man. I'm on like bite 7.
Which is good.
I'm exaggerated. That's
Oh.
fantastic.
Mm.
I'm really surprised actually.
Mm.
I don't think the audio is muted. Is anybody having a problem hearing us or?
It's kind of far. Here,
Oh,
it's kind of
okay.
far. I'll bring it closer.
We do have a fancy mic. Shoutouts to Yeti for providing, not for providing, but for producing this awesome mic that we've been using over the last few test streams. Highly recommended.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. You guys can be the judge of that, I guess.
Trying to find my.
Given that nobody else has a problem, I think our viewer Silverlight is up the creek.
Silverlight might be Moon.
Is Silverlight Moon? No way.
Yeah, cause like his
What do you mean for some reason? We just explained it. It's for good reason. You gotta eat well if you want to play well. I recommend everybody start their day off with a big piece of fruit.
Okay. Let me spam this real quick. Fuck.
I'm trying to eat mine much faster than Zhu so that I can fill in those topics while we wait. So I was just talking about somebody asked if I was going to Shots Fired. I am not going, but again, Zhu will be at Shots Fired.
Oh, you're not going for sure?
I'm not going for sure.
Okay.
Are you gonna be able to team with Music King, do you know?
I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Mm.
Come eat fruit, chill, and develop. What was it? Develop.
I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, you don't remember anything. Let me. Oh shoot, it's gone. It never got approved. Come develop an effective training routine. Here we go. An effective training routine.
So earlier today, I posted up on Twitter. I don't know how many of you guys saw it, but we were trying to decide whether we wanted to go over like a basic 20xx functionality, or if we wanted to talk about what you should keep in mind if you're going to be developing a training routine. Just kind of important information you need to have before you actually piece it together, and then how do you decide what goes into your training routine itself. Yeah, we're going to get more into it after we do a bit of intro stuff about who we are, what the stream is, and what we're going to be doing going forward. But yeah, you guys have, I think, a lot to look forward to. If it gets a little boring, feel free to blow me up on the stream chat, and I'll try to do something to remedy that, but we'll see. Oh my god.
What's up?
This fruit is just getting all over me. This is amazing. I am not surprised this is like $7 a pound.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really good. Okay.
I feel like I could do something like artsy with the shell too.
Oh yeah, it just looks really cool, huh? All right, so let's just we're probably just gonna chill for a bit, just chill with the stream for a bit before we get started. You almost done?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we got Captain Schmuckers.
Right? I was just talking to him about this. Ken just pointed out that we're eating a fruit that is basically a bowl,
In a bowl?
putting it in a bowl. It
Yeah.
seems totally unnecessary.
It spills.
I'm really
It
glad.
spills.
But it doesn't have to, because you can just kind of take it, and if you like carve it up, you can just.
All right. Well, for those of you who don't know, this is dragon fruit. Again, this was like $7 a pound. So this one fruit I think was actually about $7. So quite an expensive fruit. We'll probably be doing a different fruit every week just for fun.
Not this one.
Well, I don't know if you guys well. Yeah, well, we're not gonna try to do any repeats. So we started with bananas. We did bananas twice. Dragon fruit. What else do we have left? Guess there's a lot of fruit out there.
We can post up on social media about it.
Yeah.
You guys will
We can do a poll.
You guys will probably have some control over what kind of fruit we eat going forward. Try not to screw us over too bad.
Cactus doing right.
I brought durian up. You guys probably don't know what durian is, but it is the stinkiest, most disgusting smelling, tastes pretty good fruit out there. We might leave that one for like a season finale. I don't know if we're actually going to be doing seasons or whatever, but yeah, we'll put that one off. Is anybody having any problems with like the stream video quality, by the way? We've kind of been trying to do some test streams again to make sure that the quality of the broadcast is good, as well as the sound, the audio. If you have any problems with it, please let us know so that we can try and address it. I'm actually a really big fan of Korean pears, and over the years, so I get like boxes of these Korean pears. They've just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's like they've gotten to a point where it's affecting how many of them they can fit in this big box. The ones that I've gotten recently are probably about half the size of my head, and yeah, maybe next week I'll bring one of these in and just show you that they're huge. I don't know if Zhu is going to be able to eat those though, because we'll get into that another time.
Wait. Someone asked where I shop for my clothes. This is very important.
This actually is really important.
Yeah, because the way okay, so I'm actually wearing all Uniqlo right now. So this is like a Uniqlo shirt and Uniqlo jeans. Uniqlo sponsors tennis players. Why not Smash players? Uniqlo, I am reaching out to you right now. Please sponsor me. I will wear your clothes at all the tournaments, all the interviews.
You know, I took PP to Uniqlo last year when we went shopping for his like pre-Skatar outfit, I think it was. And the guy that was working there, like the attendant over by all the pants, he saw PP wearing the EG t-shirt. And he goes up to PP and he's like, he goes up to PP and he's like, oh dude, EG is sick. Are you a fan? And Kevin gets this like embarrassed, like sheepish look on his face. He's like, no, I'm actually on the team. I'm just standing in the corner, like cracking up. And the guy's eyes just like light up and he's like, wow, really? What game do you play? And Kevin just it becomes very warm and starts telling him about like, yeah, I'm actually on EG for Smash and yada yada. It was actually seeing Smash fans in the wild. This wasn't a Smash fan in particular, but just seeing people who are esports fans in the wild and can like recognize that brand, awesome feeling.
If you guys are having like video skip issues, maybe try to like decrease your quality a little bit. Maybe that'll help. But it seems like most people have okay quality. Definitely let us know if anyone else is having like video skip issues or like audio issues. We definitely want to get those addressed because we want to get these up on YouTube too. So better fix it now than later. So yeah, please let us know if stuff is getting kind of messed up.
That said, are we good to start or?
I guess we're gonna get started. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is this first player? Okay, this one's yours, right?
That one is mine. Yeah.
Okay, so Cactus, what are we gonna talk about today?
Wait, we have a whole topic thing that we can go through.
Okay.
Come on now. Because we did want to go through like an intro. It is our.
Yeah, you're right.
It is our first episode. I mean, the basic intro is one. We wanted to talk about fruit and how important it is to eat fruit. We actually have 2 note points in there about it. Number 1 is eat well, play well, and number 2 is because LOL, which I don't think was actually the original one. I might have done that by accident. My bad. There was definitely a second important thing, but it's because lol.
Okay.
So yeah, our next thing is who are we? We want to talk a little bit about ourselves, why we are relevant in the realm of Smash, and like why you should listen to us, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that the reason we want to do that? No, it's not the reason. We
just
want to be
so people know who we are, right?
Yeah,
So,
we want you guys to know us, even if you don't know us. A lot of you probably have like seen us or talked to us at tournaments. I know I'm very friendly at tournaments if people come up and talk to me, but I don't go like very out of my way to approach others. But yeah, if you want to start first.
Okay.
This is Zhu.
all right, I am Zhu. That's just my last name. My full name is Julian Zhu. I couldn't fit Julian in the 4-letter Smash tag, so I picked Zhu instead. That's literally the origin of my name. There's not much thought put into it. I've been playing Smash for about 10 years, I think. Mid 2005, so almost 10 years now. Mainly a Falco main. I've played Fox for a little bit to overcome a few matchups, but I've basically given up on Fox.
That's my fault.
Yeah, no, it's been working out really well for me. I'm glad I'm dropping Fox and just focusing on the bird. But yeah, you guys probably most people know me as the guy that got Wombo comboed. So there's that. But outside of that, you know, I've had some pretty good tournament wins. I've beaten King twice. I've basically taken everyone to game 3 as far as I know, and I've been pretty consistent overall. I think I'm ranked like 21 right now in the MIOM rankings list. I mean that's most of it. Do you want to? I don't know.
Is it my turn? Do I
Yeah,
have
it's
to talk
your turn.
about me? I don't like talking about me. Yeah.
Unless there's something else you think I should mention. I don't know.
Is there?
I guess that's it. That's me in a nutshell.
I mean, he's also been putting out these awesome videos that if you haven't already seen them, you probably should. The first one is #friendly. Friendly is amazing. I love Friendly. Like, can I get a Friendly is one of my favorite things to say at tournaments. So like him putting out a video about it's so good. And then we're trying to get back to creating like back in the day when I first got into Smash, one of the coolest videos or like series of videos that I would watch was the montage videos by Team Ben. And I feel like that kind of like went by the wayside for years and years, and we don't really get to see like different player perspectives, like their journeys going to tournaments, like their experience at the tournament, and then like that come down when you go home. At montages are awesome. I'm really happy with the way he just released one. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. He actually did like cool animation effects or whatever with like Armada. I'm sure people have seen it. So cool.
My
So
favorite
cool.
part by far. Okay. I'm actually going to open up the stream on my phone just so I can double check the audio and
Cool. All right. He's gonna do some testing. I'm gonna talk
Yeah, you should go ahead.
talk about me for a little bit. Pull this back up. So yeah, I've been playing for about 10 years as well. I started probably at the end of 2005. Like that's when I really made the transition from like very, very casual play, meaning Roy, to getting into playing getting into playing competitively, making the switch to Marth, who I played for like 3 years without touching another character. And then yeah, eventually I did make the transition to Fox. Once I got good enough with Marth that I was like starting to team with better and better people, I found that like Marth was really difficult to use in teams, at least the way like I wanted to play in teams. So I picked up Fox. I found that my Fox was like very quickly getting better than my Marth. It might have just been because it was like a new challenge to pick up. So like I was applying all like the practice methods that I developed with Marth to Fox and just got really good really quickly. I guess the like big set that I'm known for is for versus Dark Rain, but I actually don't even like that set because Dark Rain had what I consider like the most legitimate of any John that exists, which is his name happens to be David John. No, that's not the reason. He was hosting that tournament, and if you guys know anything about like tournament hosting is really strenuous. So for a person who is like hosting a tournament to make it that far in tournament and to be trying to play well, it's just a challenge that like I wouldn't want to put myself through. So shout out to that guy because Dark Rain's the best. Yeah, that's me. Can you hear the sound?
Yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to do that and have it out. I also want to just see how many people are watching. So
cool.
That's just a stat that I like to see.
So this one guy in the stream chat is talking about practice with Cactus.
Cool.
Toph was blowing us up because he really thinks that the title of Smash Practice with Zhu and Cactus isn't that good. He thinks it would be better off if it was just Practice with Cactus. I don't think Zhu is a big fan of that idea, but like I wouldn't want.
I might as well just not come.
I wouldn't want to cut Zhu out. I feel like he is more than 50% of the overall puzzle that goes into all the work involved with this. So shout outs to this guy because I mean without him, this probably wouldn't be happening, honestly. So that's why it's Smash Practice with Zhu and Cactus. And
I have nothing to say.
That's why his name goes first, also.
I have nothing to say.
And Zhu. All right.
Yep. Moving on. Okay. Introductions. Let's talk about Smash Practice with Zhu and Cactus.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the stream. What is our goal, Cactus?
Our goal is, I mean, it all kind of started with like 20XX. Like 20XX became like this kind of like running joke that like whenever something like crazy technical would happen, people would be like, "Oh, that's so 20XX." That's not really what like 20XX is though. Like even when hacks came up with it, like immediately what it became very quickly, like the thing that he was focusing on in particular, and then like it just kind of became through discussion, was the focus on how to play optimally. And optimally doesn't mean that you just like necessarily pick like one, there's like just one best option all the time, but it's breaking the game down into very small pieces and evaluating it from like a frame by frame perspective to determine whether or not something is just sound, whether or not like you can say as a true or false, this is a good thing to do. So a lot of like what we want to do is help other players to be able to understand game mechanics, be able to find the resources that they need to study the game mechanics, show them how to practice those things. We really want to talk about like the importance of practice, and that's something that we'll definitely get into. But I mean, most importantly, like we don't want to just be here to throw you guys information constantly. That's probably something we're going to end up doing a lot, but
and I think that's what a lot of people want, but I don't think that'll be the most effective for you guys and for us, honestly, because we're also trying to learn with you guys.
Right. And along the line of learning, it's our goal is to help you guys learn how to learn. And I think we're going to be able to do that very well. If you guys stay active in talking and communicating with us, like telling us what your problems are, asking us questions, we're going to be able to do the same thing with you guys. And I think as like a group of players just like all in the same space, we're all trying to get better. I think we're going to be able to do that much more effectively together.
Yes. Absolutely. And again, just to sum that up, the way I see it is, I'm not as, I think maybe as well spoken or as methodical as Cactus, but the way I just see it is like for a very long time we've been playing this game intuitively. Like when we first got the game, people would pick Sheik and just like throw out moves, and it's like, oh, that made sense. I would hit him a lot, I would get damage, I'll kill him. Great. Let's just keep doing that until 2009, and then all of a sudden people are, you know, at that point I think people already knew a lot about like frame data and like really looking at the game analytically. And I think that's kind of where like we started seeing more of this like very like micro-oriented play, and I think that kept developing to a point where your intuition is just simply not good enough, where a lot of the solutions for these like complex setups cannot be figured out intuitively. And I think that's what 20XX aims to solve. 20XX is really about where like I think just overall our intuitive understanding, just like playing without really like consciously thinking about stuff, is just no longer good enough. And 20XX is just an attempt to to look at like maybe the frame data or take things piece by piece, look at it analytically, come up with solutions, and then applying it in this 20xx like meta game. So I think that's what this stream is about, at least my interpretation of it as like someone who thinks kind of differently from Cactus.
No, I'm just here to make stuff up. No, that's pretty spot on, honestly. Like over the years, the thing that gives me like the most fulfillment in working with Smash is honestly like seeing the level of play just develop like crazy. And like I still haven't seen like where the end game might be, but I would be thrilled if I would be thrilled to be a piece of the solution, like the group that is pushing towards figuring it out.
Do it. Yeah. No, never mind. Okay, yeah. All right, sorry. Once a week, right? Ideally, and we'll try to keep it structured with our own, at least like one topic in mind, and we'll also be taking topics from you guys as well. Yeah, actually, that's good. Let's talk about how people can send us topics.
Oh, so we are all over all kinds of social media right now. We do have a Facebook group going. You can look us up at SmashPractice. If you guys join that, I mean, ideally what will happen is we can get a bunch of people in there. If somebody asks a question, somebody else can answer it. It's that easy. But I will also be like actively participating in that because I love talking about Smash theory and like figuring stuff out. So again, definitely join the Facebook group at least. We have a Gmail set up for SmashPractice as well. You can send us emails if you don't want to have like if you have what you think is a stupid question and don't want to like embarrass yourself in the SmashPractice Facebook group. You're more than welcome to just send us an email with an idea or a question. We'll try and get to you on there. We have our Twitter.
Yep. And you can find all of those things just down below. I actually created the panels just today, so there's going to be an icon for Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. I didn't create one for Gmail yet, which I should have, but Gmail's the same thing, smashpractice@gmail.com. We just took SmashPractice in every single like social media outlet. So
if we didn't take one somewhere and you register it, I'm going to be really upset with you. So let us know if there's somewhere else that you would like to be able to reach us. We'll take it over.
Actually, maybe we don't want to talk about this because I think we can keep it a little freeform, or maybe be a little more general than that, right? Because it'll depend session to session.
Let's just we'll do something. So our original intention with the format was to do kind of like a lecture and a lab hybrid where we pick whatever topic it is, we talk about the topic for a little bit, we do a little demo of it, and then we show us like practicing that topic, whatever it might have been. And what would have gone into that is I love using slow-mo to break down all of the actions in the game and like really get familiar with the animations and figure out like when exactly I need to make all of my inputs. I think it's actually like really important because if you slow everything down and you figure out the timeline of the inputs, speeding it up, like the timeline stays the same, it just happens more rapidly. What is far more important in Smash than like how fast you can hit buttons is how precisely you can hit buttons. So playing in slow-mo just really helps you do that kind of thing. So we were going to use slow-mo a lot. We're planning on like really getting into frame data wherever we can.
We're going to make heavy use of 20xx hack pack.
Heavy use of
heavy!
As well as the existing resources that are out there. So Keanu is like one of the like Smash guru homies. Huge source of information. He's like one of the guys who is like supporting the 20xx movement because he's so diligent about putting together all of this information. He puts so much stuff out there. If you don't see something where it's like, oh, Keanu said this, and you don't read that immediately and like study it and memorize it and internalize it, you're doing something wrong. He's awesome. There's a guy Stratocaster. He years ago started the movement towards putting or getting like all of the like the basic frame data for all the individual moves in the game into like GIF form. So on Smashboards now, if you go to any of the like character threads, Stratocaster was the guy who like set that up and got people working together to get all that information out there and like easily accessible. Magus years ago, he put out a ton of information as well, but I don't like know offhand all of the stuff that Magus did. He did a lot of like really like minute pieces of the game that I don't know that get a lot of use now. It's really interesting stuff, but I feel like we have a long way to go before we get into stuff that is like important coming from Magus, other than maybe like double stick. Double stick. That's I'm not calling him out.
That sounds like shots.
Like double stick down with like Jigglypuff. There's an old school video of him teching something crazy like Ganon's like Warlock Punch.
Down smash, Peach's down smash, like stuff like that.
Well, the Warlock Punch one, I don't remember if it was Warlock Punch, but he does some kind of like crazy nonsense double stick down tech, and then normally it would send you off the stage so fast that you like fly off. But he would sit there and like either do like perfect rolls or like buffered rolls, so that the momentum that would normally carry them off would like dissipate over the course of the rolls. Weird stuff like that would probably never get pulled off in tournament, but it's still like really cool. It's really cool. And yeah, after that, like we really wanted to get into like once we accumulate all the information, once we have all the data, how do we practice it, and like effective ways to view that information, internalize it, visualize it, and then practice it in a way that it's going to benefit you a lot more than if you just like sit down on the stage and go wild with autopilot nonsense.
Yeah, we're going to go into that whole process. We have 4 defined steps, and with some examples that we came up with to kind of illustrate that. So we'll talk a lot about that kind of stuff today. Yeah, I mean, most of today is just to introduce you guys to the stream and familiarize everyone with just some of the basics, just kind of the fundamentals of kind of what we're putting our stream around, which is kind of what Cactus just said. We'll probably talk about...
Today is actually probably going to... You guys might hate it, but I think it's really important. It's going to be about very, very basic pieces of movement. Straight down to dash and wave dash. And...
those will be the 2 things that we're going to look at for the most part today. So
it's what we're using as the examples of like applying the method. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, just stuff that might seem like common sense, but I feel like that needs to be said just so it's out there, just so people can have an awareness of it. And again, we'll get into that once we're done with this little intro. But yeah. After every like piece that we do, we're gonna have a lot of Q&A. We really want to interact with you guys because I feel like, again, it's not about us just sitting here and talking at you guys. It's about getting you guys to interact, ask important questions that might be common knowledge elsewhere. Somebody somewhere has the answer for you, or can figure it out, or can provide you with the resources you need to figure it out yourself.
Moon, because I love Moon so much, Moon actually wanted a... oh, one sec. Here. Grab this. I just didn't want the cords tangled.
Wow,
so...
just let the cords get tangled a little bit.
No. Okay. So, I'm a huge Moon fan, so Moon earlier asked if he could get a tour of the apartment.
This apartment.
This apartment. So this is actually my apartment. Our last stream was in Cactus's, so you'll notice that like the decor is a little bit different. Yeah, I'm gonna do this real quick. Okay. Tour of the apartment.
He's carrying the mic.
I'm carrying the mic so you guys can hear me.
All right.
Okay. So sorry. But how far can this reach though?
Not very far at all.
No.
How about
I got it.
I'll maneuver the
No,
mic
I got it.
and
No,
you can just
I got it.
Hold this.
No, I got it. Oh, okay.
All
All right. So we have, this is just my bed space. It's my bed. There's a nice little window. I have a little patio up there. Pretty nice view. I don't have curtains right now, so it gets really bright in the morning, but it's actually pretty nice because it'll just...
Is that guy watching us?
No. That apartment is always lit because I think it's just like one of those like demo apartment.
No, dude, I'm pretty sure there's a dude right there like looking over here. No. We're
Okay.
That's not important.
All right. And then, man, my room's pretty small, but I really like it. Bathroom.
He actually has a sick bathroom.
Yeah.
I really want to take this webcam if it can go far enough.
Wait. Okay.
Oh my god. He has this sick shower setup. What is...
Can you go far enough?
This
Oh,
isn't
wait.
gonna reach. This isn't
Wait,
gonna
wait,
reach.
wait.
This
Okay.
isn't working out.
No. Okay. Skip it. Whatever. Let's not. This isn't that important.
This isn't that important. All right, all right.
And then we have the back, and then back, and then a closet over there. Yeah. All right. I don't even know if Moon is still in the stream, but is it?
Thank you, Zhu.
Oh yes.
Very appreciative.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I had to do that for Moon because he's one of the most important people in the world. All right. So let's get into our topic.
Yeah.
We have an outline, and I haven't really looked at it as much, but I see at the top it's competence. What is competence?
Okay, so this is something that has gotten thrown around a little bit on Smashboards and gets talked about like once in a while. But competence is the measure of your ability to perform a skill. There are like classically defined stages of competence, going from like not understanding anything about something, not even realizing that you're lacking an ability to do something. The second stage is being able to identify that lack of ability and like develop reasons for why you want to develop that ability. The third stage is learning as much as you can about it and like gaining so much understanding about it so that you can perform whatever it is that you're trying to perform. But as part of that stage, it's... Dude, what are you doing?
I'm developing competence.
We're going to talk about what Zhu is doing right now as soon as I get over this. Yeah, so the third stage is kind of like you develop all this knowledge about how to do something.
Am I doing this wrong? Isn't that what you're talking about?
I'm going to get through it. I'm going to get through it. He's going to sit here, autopilot all over the stage, not really focus on any one thing to practice. He's just going to go wild. It's really distracting, though. It's really distracting, though, right? For everybody? Everybody just wants to watch you play.
Oh, is this not how to develop competence? How should I do it then?
By focusing on one specific thing at a time, piecing it together, and really figuring out as much as you can about that one piece.
So like not
doing a little bit of everything. Not doing a whole lot of that where you're just button mashing, basically moving as soon as you can move. Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Oh man, I've been doing it wrong the whole time. I think. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I should really listen to this. Okay, I'm gonna put my controller down. I'm sorry, stream, for being really loud. Let's focus in. Okay. Okay. Whew.
He does this to me constantly. You guys know. It's a constant struggle. So yeah, the third stage of competence is like learning as much as you can about the skill, being able to perform the skill, but that skill, the performance of it, still requires a lot of your focus to actually like be able to perform it. So like at the third stage, like if you were just learning to do like a wave dash, you would have to actually focus on like your inputs on the controller to be able to do it. The fourth stage is like the second nature phase. So once you reach that fourth stage, ideally you have so much information about it that you can execute it relatively perfectly without having to spend a lot of your focus or concentration on it, and to be able to use that focus elsewhere, like focusing on your opponent, figuring out what they're doing, figuring out what you can do to counter them. Yeah, so those are like the four basic stages. I had a conversation on Facebook recently. Well, not like a conversation, but there were comments where somebody was like talking about like, oh, why don't you just play the game like totally intuitively and never even like worry about that stuff. Just play the game. Just play the game. What reason is there to like kind of refuse to accept more information about what you're doing? Because
It's hard.
studying is hard.
It is really hard. That's why so many people drop out of school and stuff, honestly.
Legitimately, like acquiring information, it can seem like this really boring task, but that's usually just because you don't recognize the value of it yet. When you go through and acquire all this information, if you study all the frame data, all this stuff, once you actually get that all ingrained and make that second nature, it's not like you're going to go into every tournament match you have and sit there and think about all the frames that are occurring. You're still going to be playing very intuitively. It's just that while you practice, you're going to be applying all of that knowledge to what you're practicing. You're going to be kind of like cutting away all of the excess from your gameplay and being able to execute in the cleanest way possible. You're going to be able to create visualizations of essentially what are like perfect strings of execution, and then you're going to be able to do it. You're going to be able to see what you're doing right now, not like judge it as being good or bad, but see what it is that you're doing and move closer to what you want to be doing. And once you can do that in practice, and once you can like implement all of those factors, once you get to tournament play, it's still second nature. It's just you don't need to think about it at all. The opponent that you're facing who hasn't gone through those like same rigors that you have, he's going to be dropping very important frames all over the place. His movement is just straight up going to be slower and more inefficient than yours. You're going to be able to see these openings that are created because he's going to be moving as fast as he can. He's going to be moving as soon as he's actionable every time. You're going to be very calm, and you're going to be watching him and pointing out, he messed up right there, and I know exactly what I need to do to get in there.
Oh my god, I wish I had that. How do I do that? Oh my god.
So the way you do that is you practice effectively. You study the hell out of the game. You get as familiar as you can with the smallest pieces that you can, and then you bring it all together through practice. So one of like the big things that I like to say nowadays, something that I didn't really like recognize myself for a long time, because I used to love the theory of Smash. I used to love the idea of playing the game, oftentimes more than actually playing it. I would sit there and theory craft constantly. And what I came to recognize is that theory is not enough. Theory can only like kind of light a path for you to take. You have to merge theory with practice. You have to merge theory with execution. Otherwise, every time you sit down and play, you're just going to kind of get frustrated. I'm sure you guys all have like friends that you play with who see what's happening on screen, and then they'll just like make up excuses almost instantly after stuff happens. They'll be like, oh, I meant to do this. Oh, I that's not what I put in. That's not what I did.
I totally pressed L and didn't air dodge.
I totally pressed L and didn't air... Yeah, they make up all these excuses.
Why didn't I hit that L cancel?
It's very rare that like a controller is so bad that these problems are commonplace. It's very rare.
Well, unless you're Mewtwo King.
Maybe Mewtwo King. Mewtwo King finds the smallest... Let's not get into Mewtwo King.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a lot of times what it comes down to is, like, somebody will go through, they'll practice all of these things, and they might get to a place where they're very competent in being able to execute it. They'll think that once they're able to do it, they don't need to consistently practice it going forward. And that's nonsense. If you think about, like, any skill, really, if you don't immerse yourself in it for the long term, if you don't consistently practice, your skill will decay. And I think that's something that doesn't really get addressed enough. So, I mean, really what we want to do is establish good training habits, establish the things that you can do to kind of create a routine that you can go through to kind of like do a skill check on yourself. You'll be able to notice if you are dropping small things here and there and correct it, and like kind of ingrain the muscle memory. And then over the long term, like you might not need to practice everything all the time for like extended periods of time anymore. Like with a good wave dash compared to a bad wave dash, if you can recognize that your wave dash is still good between day and day, you only need to do it like maybe twice, and you can say like, oh, my wave dash is good today, I can move on and practice something a little more complex. But to not address it at all, to learn how to wave dash and then completely like throw it out the window on your training routine, that's exactly what we want to get away from.
I really wanna do an example of this right now because okay. I don't you know, that was a lot. I think I get the general picture, but I really wanna be perfect. I really wanna be really good at this game. You know, one thing that I've been struggling with, I think a lot of other people have. Oh man, it's so when I watch Mango play as Falco, he does a short hop nair into Shine. And, you know, he'll hit the Fox or someone who's shielding. But, like, when I do it, man, I always get, like, shield grabbed or Shine at a shielded. I don't know why that is.
Shield grabbed as a spacey. Should never really happen, honestly.
So, I don't know. When I do it, like, I don't know. When Mango does it, it'll be like, oh, short hop nair Shine, and, like, he gets his combo. When I do it, it's like, I do this. Oh, my. I press shine. I don't understand what's going on.
So this is kind of like what we were talking about, where it's like the stages of competency.
4 stages, right?
The 4 stages, and the first stage, like, this might be like a little bit scripted, but what Mock is, what Zhu is kind of going through here is he doesn't know why he's getting grabbed, and in his mind he sees that he's doing the same thing as Mango. He's doing a short hop nair towards the opponent and going for shine. He's good enough at the game already that he doesn't.
Okay.
Ooh,
I wonder if I can do that again.
That he doesn't miss L cancels, but he doesn't have an understanding, or he hasn't been able to identify the thing that is going wrong. And in his case in particular, with this specific problem, it's he doesn't understand the difference between a high aerial or a rising aerial and a low aerial, and he doesn't understand how the hit stun is linking between hitting that shield and how many frames he has between hitting the shield, landing, L canceling, and then shining. So, I mean, to move from that first stage to the second stage is you need to recognize what is the problem. You need to be able to identify what is in your game that's missing, and then identify the reason you want to work on it. So, in this case, what is the reason that you want to work on or learn about how to link hit stun?
What is the reason?
Yeah.
So I don't get shield grabbed.
So he doesn't get shield grabbed. It's that easy.
I'm Falco and like I do this aerial. I have to throw my body at a person who's defending, and then they hit me and they convert into 60 damage, and I end up getting edge guarded anyways because Falco's recovery sucks.
Because Falco's recovery is the.
Oh my
it's
god.
Not the worst. It's pretty good actually.
Oh, dude. Like. But it's so frustrating having, like, I have to play this offensive character and I just get beat out every time. How do I beat this? How do I get better?
Right. So the motivation, he understands that he lacks the ability to link his hit stun. He sees that the reason that he wants to learn about this is that he doesn't get shield grabbed. So the third stage is we study the hell out of it. We study if you hit high on a shield, how many frames do you have if you say you fast fall perfectly? How many frames happen between you hitting that point, hitting the ground? Then we have to add however many frames there are for you L canceling. Then we have to consider when you can hit that shine. And then we have to think about how long is that shield stun? From the defensive player's perspective, how long is the shield stun? And then if he does that frame perfectly, when will his grab come out? And that's how we kind of like determine the plus minus of shield stun in general. Like your advantage, basically.
So the problem that I'm having right here, it sounds like, is okay. So my shine didn't come out. So okay, so when I'm doing a really early aerial, there's a little bit of shield stun, and by the time that shield stun ends and when the Fox and shield grab me, that's faster than my shine. So it sounds like what I need to do is delay or like make my shield stun as close to my shine as possible.
It sounds like a good theory.
Sounds like a good theory, but what's the problem? Is there a problem? Should I just do that?
Do you know the specifics of it?
It sounds like I probably just need to do my nair a little bit later.
Okay, so this is an example of like you could do it good enough. You could learn it from an intuitive perspective, which is like, oh, if I just hit them lower, I'll be able to link it into shine. Or you could actually study it and take the 20xx approach, which is, hey, I know that if I hit them at any point from here to here, I will be able to link that into shine, because at all of these points, if I fast fall, I still have the advantage throughout the range.
Oh my god, there's fast fall. Wow, that's another like variable in this really complex equation. Okay. Okay. I'm following though.
Okay.
Yes.
So I mean, you gotta think it over for yourself, but would you rather be able to like identify that entire range, or would you rather be like, oh, if I just hit in this general area, maybe it'll be good enough? And we here at SmashPractice with Zhu and Cactus, we really want to teach people to want that deeper level of knowledge, because if what drawback is there from knowing that kind of thing? If you're able to implement that, you can create these mix-ups basically where you can be on like the verge of hitting a spot where it's the opponent is given this ambiguous situation where they don't quite know if you've hit it properly or not. So they kind of like hesitate, or they'll just go for the shield grab when there's no way they'll be able to get it. And you're going to hold that advantage because, again, you have the information advantage.
Okay. So I do want to go back to these 4 steps of competence. I do want to go back to that because the 4 steps, I really think this is what will really help me. So first one, I think I've kind of identified my lack of competence. That's the first step, right? Really like being able to figure out what you don't know, right? And it sounds like here it's like I don't really know why I'm getting shield grabbed every time. Like I'm hitting my L cancels. I think I am at least. Okay, well,
Average wave dash is probably going to lose like 2 to 3 frames per wave dash. And that stuff like adds up. It really does. Like again, this is a game about precision.
Well, I want to say, Urox, thank you for the suggestion. Really appreciate it. Sorry you have to go, and sorry your computer crashed. Yeah.
I hope that wasn't our fault with our super high quality 60 frame per second stream.
Yeah, good luck, man. Really, really appreciate the help on this.
Again, this is like a community effort, so if you guys have like any useful information, feel free to toss it in chat and we will probably use it.
Yeah.
Like you can just see us doing it right now. Yurok is pointing out very useful training techniques that we wouldn't have brought up otherwise. Even if I like already know about something, there's so much stuff in this game. There's no way that I can like possibly communicate all of it. It's very important for you guys to actively be talking to us, to each other, sharing information, spreading information. Like it's an amazing tool, and it kind of like brings us together as a community. Like, because the idea should be, we all want each other to have all of the tools necessary to get better. Whether or not that person sees success in tournament is going to be really indicative of how much time they put into practice, as opposed to them having the resources available. So again, like I sit down, and what you want to do when you practice, you pick out that one thing you do it like across the stage one way, do it across the stage another way. It's really like that easy. Like it's very easy for us to get onto the stage and want to do like crazy ass like movement. Can't even do these. Try and go for our shield into like wave dash or shine out a shield. I did it. We'll go on a platform stage and we'll do crazy platform movement all over. But that's not like really helping us because we're not even really looking at it. All we have is the idea of, oh, we're moving around the stage and we want to make it faster. The same thing applied to like platform movement. Like if we go onto one of these other stages, we pick that like one piece, we jump up and we go here. We think about it like we want to be able to. Do you know how to turn on the ECB?
what's that?
Environmental collision box. That might be a debug mode only.
Oh, I don't know about those.
Yeah, but we want to be able to like as soon as we pass through the point in the platform where like on the first frame possible we hit air dodge, it's gonna snap us to the platform because again we don't want to be wasting a lot of time. That's terrible dash.
I mess those up a lot.
The no-life wave dash. Okay, just to explain this last time. So I was talking I was talking to Hacks about this wave dash in particular, where you roll to the edge and then you try to wave dash to the edge because there are no frames or there are no pixels available. So you have to like do a pretty much almost frame perfect wave dash just to grab the ledge.
Oh my god, dude, this is so hard.
Hacks claim this to be the no-life wave dash because if you're able to do it consistently, again, you have no life. No, but it's actually.
Does he not value the? Or is he saying that he has no life?
Oh, did you see how perfect my wave dash was? Wait, oh my god, I need a life. Hey, wait, watch this, watch this. Oh, I have a life!
Right.
So again, we work on our wave dashes. It is as simple as getting on the stage and just wave dashing across the stage. Watching the animation, like really watching your character do the one, kind of like take notes on it. You've already seen us go into half speed and look at the animation. Get familiar with your character's animations. Learn as much as you can about it. The more time you spend immersed in it, the more visual recognition that you're gonna acquire regarding it. And kind of like this is like a cherry on top thing. So I was talking to Mewtwo King earlier today, actually. He complains all the time about his slow reaction speed. He feels that like the other top players just have like these wildly faster reaction speeds and are able to react to things that he'll never be able to react to. There's something really important about your ability to react to a situation that goes above reaction speed as a raw thing. Reaction speed.
Because you broke that down into two separate things, right?
That's right.
Sorry, you were gonna go into that. It sounds like.
So your ability to respond to a situation is split between your like inherent reaction speed. That's something that's like kind of built into people. It's something you can improve, but it's very difficult. The other component is visual recognition. Visual recognition is something that you can actually like hone through practice and just through sitting down and observing something and getting so familiar with it that you can see it and kind of like immediately recognize what is going on very early into it, just because you have that high level of developed visual recognition. So it's not enough to just say like, oh, the reaction speed is what lets them do this. They also spend a lot, like they've put themselves in these situations hundreds of thousands, millions of times. I don't know. I don't even know. Like, how many times do you think M2K has down thrown somebody with Sheik and tech chased them? It's not just the reaction speed. It's he knows what is going to happen and he's able to identify that animation and trigger that visual recognition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Visual recognition, reaction speed, and then I think there's also like your like mechanical response time, right? Like the amount of time it takes for you to move your finger. But I mean, yeah, there are a lot of things. But if I can summarize this, wait, let me try this. All right. No, I'm not going to attempt to. That was too much.
No, go for it.
No.
Dude,
okay.
You complain about your inability to be as articulate. You need to work on it. It's something that you need to practice.
All right. So being able to recognize a situation goes hand in hand with what Mewtwo King describes as his reaction speed. It sounds like he has an issue with just like, oh, if he doesn't see a situation, it's just because his reaction speed is slower. But what could be part of the problem is he's just not able to recognize situations as well as maybe some other people, because other people are maybe just more consciously aware, or they look at the details of the actual animations and things like that. And so that is why we just went over all those things going into half speed, 1/4 speed, to really be able to look at those animations so that we can really improve our visual recognition, and so our reaction speed and all those things will also get better in time.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Dude, you did pretty well. You did pretty well.
I don't know.
Okay, so somebody just brought up in chat, a word that they wish people used more when talking about reaction is anticipation. Anticipation is actually kind of like an interesting subject when you compare or when you talk about it with reaction, because anticipation is a double-edged sword. If you don't know properly what exact things that you should be anticipating, like if you down throw somebody and in your mind there are many, many more options than, oh, they will tech in place, they will miss the tech, or if they were tech roll left or right. If it's kind of like a gray area, or if you load all of your anticipation into one of those options, you can kind of like effectively double your reaction speed. Not in a positive way. I mean, it'll slow you down by like twice as much, because what happens is you're anticipating that one option. Your reaction is first triggered that, oh shit, they didn't do that option. We need a curse jar. And then after you recognize that, oh, they didn't do that option, then you have to react to the option that they actually did do.
So it sounds like now we're getting into the topic of reads versus reaction.
And I want to throw that crap out the window.
Yeah. Read versus reaction.
It's not.
I think that's great, because when we look at players, there are some of both. You know, melee can be played, at least as of right now, in many ways. I mean, Mango is a classic read-based player, right? And then we have.
That's not even always true.
Whatever.
Think about like the major Mango reads over the years. A lot of them were like the opponent flubbing an input, but it happened to come out as it being a read, just because like the pressure of the moment led to them crumbling. They just like, you think about that one where Hungrybox like rolled into him on FOD and into that charged up smash. Oh my god. Hungrybox was clearly trying to wave dash, but ended up rolling because he flubbed his input. A top level player flubbed a wave dash input and rolled into a fully charged up smash. It happens.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. That no life air dodge. Look up the first video of me versus Mango ever. I made a 2-to-1 stock comeback. He was recovering with up B, and all I needed to do was grab the ledge. I wasn't even that close to the ledge. This isn't even a no life, this isn't even like a no life edge hog. It was like you have a pretty reasonable life and you just threw it away edge hog.
Yeah. You could have just jumped back probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have just jumped back, but stuff like, I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah, stuff like that happens all the time. It's rough.
But yeah, so the point of it is, when establishing our practice routines, we do pick these very basic motions. These are things that we do constantly. You need to just focus on the individual thing that you want to practice first. Hone it, figure out everything you can about it, practice it. I stress practice it. Like, if I could give you guys homework and actually expect you to do it, I would just tell you daily, spend a few minutes when you first sit down practicing something basic. You can go into your autopilot routine whenever you want. The first 5 to 15 minutes of your practice session, spend it working on single components of tech skill. You'll find that your technical consistency skyrockets. That's actually something else I kind of want to talk about. It's a little bit more off topic. It's loosely related, but you want to practice the things that are technically demanding like this. You don't necessarily always say wave dash is technically demanding, but when you're fresh is when you want to actually be focused on working on something, because once you kind of get tired, you start to substitute the fine motions that are involved with you'll put more emphasis with your whole body into it. It's just you substitute precision for gross motion, and it'll have a negative impact in your overall technical ability. It's probably something I'm going to get into in another episode. I didn't really plan anything to talk about that with, but I really do want to stress that if you are going to have a regular practice routine, in the first 15 minutes or so of it, practice the very specific stuff. Absolutely.
So for me, actually doing this, I think my wave dashes actually are not that great. So one thing that you did mention was quite simply just wave dash across the stage.
Yeah, just wave dash across the stage in one direction. Do it forward, left and right.
I'm gonna do it also slow. Each wave dash very, very.
Think about the wave dash. Don't just get into a rhythm of doing it. He's doing it backwards now. That's a whole nother thing. You see how this is Zhu that we're talking about. He occasionally messes up his wave dashes. He does a jump and misses his air dodge input. This is a top level player. Even we need to practice these things and reestablish our tech skill habits.
Half the time I even do a full hop. I just miss the air dodge because I'm doing it too early because I'm trying to tighten it now.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, most of my wave dashes do look like this.
Yeah, where your head is kind of leaving the jump squat animation and going almost airborne.
This is definitely something that I need to do.
Yeah. So, again, if we could give you guys homework, this week, until next week's episode, if you can do it daily, that'd be great. But if you can do it 3 times over the next week, have a practice session. First 15 minutes of that practice session. Actually, just the beginning of the practice session. Doesn't have to be 15 minutes. Practice just your wave dash across the stage. Left to right, right to left. You can do it backwards if you want. Don't just spam it, but really sit there and think about your wave dash. Think about how you can improve it.
I know I'm definitely going to do this. And this isn't even acting or anything.
I don't think he's acting with that
I'm not. This is actually a concern for me because this is not something that I looked at.
That actually makes me really happy because that's what SmashPractice is really all about. It's about identifying flaws and working to improve them.
Wow.
Dude, how important would we say it is for the wave dashes to be absolutely frame perfect? Given that a wave dash...
Wait, I want to answer this.
Okay.
Right. In 2007, in 2008, in 2009, and in 2012, all the way even 2015, honestly, not that important. I really think even right now, it's honestly not that important. But in the year 20XX, you better believe, you better get your fucking wave dashes frame perfect, boy.
Dude, swear jar.
I mean, but yeah. No, I think you do bring up a good point. And, obviously, if you're a new player, you know, this is maybe not something that you would want to invest, 2 hours into every day. But, you know, it's more about the mentality, I think. And not just specifically about wave dashing or hitting, you know, a shine grab frame perfect every time or like a double shine perfect every time. It's not about those one specific things. I really think it's more about having this mentality, and if I apply this mentality to a wave dash, I'm gonna maintain this habit and apply it to everything else I do, and it's really gonna add up. And actually, I'm sure I can identify tons of my own matches where maybe if I wave dash a little bit faster, a little bit crispier, or a little more purposefully even, I might have just won that match. And these small advantages really, really, really add up. And if maybe don't even use me as an example, I feel like PP is someone who's benefited a ton from this kind of a mentality, right? I hear that he does tons and tons of this kind of stuff. So, you know, yeah, I don't think it's about just the wave dash. It sounds like it's more about having this mentality and applying it to everything that you do.
He did kind of expand on his question where it's about reliability versus frame perfection. This is something that is mechanically always the same. It's something that you should be able to spend enough time on. Again, if you spent 5 minutes of your practice session every time you practice working on this, you would get so consistent at it. It's not like it's that difficult of a thing. As long as you're hitting it within a 2-frame gap of the last frame of jump squat or the first frame airborne, it's gonna be good enough. And that's what you want to be able to consistently do, honestly.
Yeah.
If you're any worse than that, then you're dropping a lot of really unnecessary frames to the point where you're gonna look sloppy compared to a player who does sit down and practice this. Because when I sit down and I play against somebody who doesn't have clean wave dashes, they, even if they move across the stage at lightning speed or spamming all kinds of movement, they look slow to me because legitimately I have less waste. I have less inefficiency in my gameplay. It's far more effective for me to do whatever one wave dash towards them than it is for them to span them all over the place and be exposing themselves. For every frame that they are inefficient, they're essentially open. They're essentially just waiting for me to punish them.
And I bet for players that you see that with, that'll apply for all sorts of other things in their gameplay as well, right? You can tell, right?
Story time. So
cool.
there was actually a player in Philadelphia. His name was Dave Park. Dave used to go by Jizzlypuff, but he's a spacey player. One day he was over at my place and he's just like, dude, what do you think I'm doing wrong? And I'm like, dude, your wave dashes suck. And he's like, what are you talking about? I wave dash fine. I can wave dash. I know how to wave dash. And I went through this with him and I really talked to him about it. I'm like, dude, your wave dashes are just really inefficient. You have a lot of frame waste on your wave dashes. Not in the near future from there, but months down the line, he was kind of talking to me about it, and he's like, dude, it took me a long time to get past the ego impact that had on me for you to tell me that I don't know how to wave dash. But once I did, and once I actually sat down and worked on wave dashing, there was just this huge upgrade in my gameplay because now when I go and I play the other players in Philadelphia, I can tell there's a speed difference, and it's because he just cleaned up his wave dashes. That was the only piece of advice I gave him that day. I was like, dude, you don't know how to wave dash. Learn how to wave dash properly. It often is that simple, honestly.
Are you telling me I'm gonna win Evo?
It could happen. No, probably not. I don't know if you work on your wave dashes.
Wait, no life.
No life wave dash. Oh, so
One.
good.
Fuck.
You suck.
2. Okay.
All right, that's like the majority of the content for our first stream. We do want to have like a
Q&A?
we just want to like talk
Chill?
to you guys. We want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
I guess our first question, you guys can ask us a bunch of questions, obviously, but like, what do you guys think of this kind of content where we like kind of talked about the mentality behind things, explain it from our perspective, break down like something very simple, and then like try and piece it together and demonstrate how we would practice it? And yes, we actually want I want this thing to be on the show called Scrub of the Week. Zhu doesn't like the name Scrub of the Week, but I think it's kind of catchy. He wants like a Beginner of the Week or something like that. I don't want to like beat around the bush. It's a Scrub of the Week. I want to take the local scrubs, have them on the show, have them practice something with us. We'll probably actually just like sit down and spar with them very briefly, identify something that they're messing up on, and then break down that one situation that we identified that we want them to be like clean on, and sit there and practice it, recreate that one situation, talk it to death, and then see if they're better by the end of the session at least that one specific thing. So yeah, we are trying to get some a scrub of the week every week, maybe. Probably not every week. Maybe once a month.
Oh, yeah, we should. So we were actually planning on applying for Twitch partnership. Literally,
I don't know how to do that.
No, it's really easy. But we're gonna do it, and yeah, we're gonna try to make this a thing. We're gonna treat the stream as honestly oh, thanks.
Yeah. You guys want to see us? We're done playing the game for now. So what's up?
We're gonna treat this stream as honestly like a professional show. As you can tell, just by at least like the quality of just everything, the webcam, the 60 frames per second. I think we'll make our stream topic a little bit better. Oh, I really want to give a huge shout out to Brian Anderson.
Yeah, the homie set us up with so much awesome stuff.
Really want to say shout outs. I actually don't know. I feel like I asked him if he had a tag, and I don't know if he had one. I'll have to ask him again. But Brian Anderson, I'm going to say that again. Brian Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson hooked us up with the stream layout, and I think we're going to be working with him from here on. And so even right now, the logo and everything all looks really nice. I think we'll continue to improve it as we go along. But we're going to treat this stream as honestly like our like second job, like a part-time job almost. That type of thing. No? I don't know. You're making a face, but
no, I saw a funny question in the chat that I'm gonna address after.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take the stream very seriously, so we want to make this as good as it can because, one, we just want to help everyone experience Melee at the fullest. Because we love Melee. I don't know. Clearly, all of you guys love Melee, and we want it to stay. We want the community to keep growing. We want to learn stuff ourselves. Yada yada. Yeah. You said there was a funny question you wanted to address.
There are actually two things I want to address.
A lot of good stuff.
All right, the first one is Smelly Cat asked, I think, a very important question, which is, do I have Keanu Reeves impressions? Not impressions per se, but in college there was this funny thing. There was a local player named Pac-Man on Crack. I think he was the one who like came up with this idea, but he was like, dude, you should just do like Keanu Reeves doing other things. Like I think the example was like, what if Keanu Reeves was the Terminator? Like, I'll be back. Like the whoa voice that he makes.
Dude, I don't know.
Oh, you suck.
I don't know anything about Keanu Reeves, dude, except he was Neo. I don't know. I watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
That counts.
Yeah,
that counts. Anyway,
I also watched Lord of the Rings. I'm just kidding. He wasn't in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, the other one was like, to be or not to be. That is the question. Just like the lame, like Keanu Reeves, like kind of. Never mind. We'll get into it.
Dude, I don't know.
I am partly Korean. I'm half Korean. I am seeing on the side. This isn't the first person to ask it, but the origin of my name
Oh, this is a great question. Great story.
Did you like the story? Cause
no, it was an excellent story.
I told it. I told it when we did our interview, and so originally, Sephiroth Ken is no longer in this stream chat, unfortunately. But I was a Marth player to start with, and I didn't have a gamer tag yet, and I was just kind of like playing the field. I was watching like the top level players. Ken was the best. He was the best Marth, and his actual gamer tag was Sephiroth Ken. And I was like, oh, sick. That's Final Fantasy. His brother's name was Mana Cloud. It was all Final Fantasy themed. It was cool. As a Marth player, I was like kind of struggling to find a color that nobody else really used. I think KM was the only one who used green, but KM wasn't like one of the other top Marths at the time. He was like an up-and-comer. He was very good. So I was basically like, oh, I should pick a Final Fantasy inspired name and a green character. I went onto Google and I was just like Final Fantasy green character, and the first thing that pops up is this cactus that's just over there like, what's up? And it just like dances side to side. So
sorry for hitting you.
No, it's cool. Yeah. And I was looking for something that I could shorten into 4 letters too, because it was really important that you had a 4-letter tag. So Cactuar shortened down to Twar perfectly. It was meant to be. I looked up more on like the Cactuar character because I didn't really know all that much about it. Cactuar is apparently like the biggest dick in the Final Fantasy universe. He just, when you fight him, he has this ridiculously high evasion stat. So like most of the time you try and attack him, he dodges all your attacks. If you manage to hit him a few times, he tends to just escape from the battle, so it's very likely that you'll like lose any benefit of having fought him. And the most ridiculous thing, randomly when you're fighting him, he will just one-shot somebody out of your team because he has a move that does 10,000 damage and the maximum possible health is 9999. And I just thought that was ridiculous. So Cactuar, I think, is by far the best character in Final Fantasy.